outside DeRozan. That's a bucket. His third of the game. He shot the ball 7 times.
If you give him an inch of space, he's going to make you pay.
And Williams, here we go. Here's Irving, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And Toronto called for the foul. The Cavaliers shooting their first free throws tonight. The first trip to the stripe in this one.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Really, guys, it's just come together for them at the charity stripe this season. I mean, the confidence is there, and so too are the results.
The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. Cleveland ahead. They're up by 4. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And DeMar DeRozan, star for this Toronto Raptors team, he said he wants to bring them back.
A lot of people never really pay no attention to the Raptors. They just look at the Raptors like another team, you know. So when I came, you know, I just wanted to bring that feeling back and the excitement that everybody had for the Raptors.
Let's face it, it's never easy for Toronto to get the attention that Clark, the U.S. teams get. That's just a fact of life that even Vince Carter at his best couldn't change.
And, you know, I don't even know if winning a championship would change that. Quite honestly, even if DeMar won the MVP. Just saying.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And from what you guys have seen so far from Cleveland, what's your take?
You know, it's been about how solid they've been offensively here, really tuned in with one another.
Good ball movement, and it's paid off on the scoreboard.
Terrence Ross is out there with Johnson. Then it's Corey Joseph. Then there's Lowry. And it's Patterson in at the 5. That's the 5 out there for the Raptors. The rebound by Patterson.
Oh, that's a golden opportunity to finish on the break, and he blows it.
Yeah, at this level, you got to make that shot. It's plain and simple. You got to knock that one down.
Lowry dishes to Johnson. Tries again. And the rejection by James. Joseph, that's good. Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone. LeBron drives in. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Jonas Valanciunas, he's checked in for Toronto. Jamari Carroll comes in for Terrence Ross. It's stolen by Valanciunas. Lowry lays it up and banks it in. Lowry's got his second bucket.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Clearly, they've been the aggressors thus far when it comes to attacking the interior in this first half.
Well, LeBron had kind of a slow start to his season, his return to Cleveland last year.
Yeah, he got off to a bit of a slow start. He had some nagging type injuries, but things turned around, and LeBron was eventually able to get the clubhouse atmosphere where he wanted.
Cannon from long range. The Cavaliers again can't hit. Raptors trail by 3. And it's Lowry penetrating. Count the bucket. Lowry's got 6.
Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it. And that atmosphere that LeBron was after, I mean, he described it as wanting a family-like atmosphere. And to touch on the Cleveland atmosphere, you know, you could see as the season unfolded, it became a big part of what LeBron was able to accomplish in Miami, starting to work itself into that roster.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Yeah, but they better rally soon because they've given up 3 straight buckets in the paint.
And again, LeBron missing.
I wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the backboard.
And, Greg, it's clearly been their edge, and in a close game like this, you look for every edge you can find.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Mozgov. Luis Scola, he's checked in for the Raptors.
Luis Scola.
Here's Joseph, who's averaging around 5.5 points a game. 6 to shoot. The drive by Lowry. And again, Toronto no luck. Cleveland's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. And Green slams it in.
Boy, you got to love that assist by LeBron.
Toronto trailing. Now here's Joseph. Outside Lowry. Dishes to Scola. Carroll. No one around him. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket. Cavaliers have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. And stolen by Kyle Lowry. Oh, and here comes Joseph all alone. And the rejection by LeBron. Shot on the wing. Cleveland gets it back. Toronto, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field here in the second. And Joseph kicks to Lowry. Down low, and it's Valanciunas finishing it off.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
The Raptors making a switch here. DeRozan's checked in. And Cleveland with a change here, too. Williams is checked in. Stolen by Joseph. Fast break, Toronto. Drops in the breakaway layup. Joseph's got the lead up to 2 now for Toronto. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Raptors.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is working hard on the offensive glass. They've had a number of putbacks.
The drive by LeBron. Here's Mozgov. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket. Raptors have gone 7 of 14 in the second quarter, shooting to the tune of 50%. Screen by Scola. The jump hook. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. And 11 points now for Valanciunas.
You know, Dwayne Casey was once a player at Kentucky, took me and hosted me on my recruiting visit at Kentucky back in 1979. Actually got his coaching start at the school as well.
Pass to LeBron. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Cleveland moving it around. And there's Love. That's good on the assist by LeBron. Love's got the game tied up here for the Cavs. The Raptors have gone 8 of 15 since we began the second quarter. Excellent shooting. As we were talking about Coach Dwayne Casey, he's found his place in Toronto. Took them great to back-to-back postseason appearances.
And, you know, it's good to see him finally establishing himself as a head coach, really known as a defensive specialist. But once he gets in charge of a team, he'll have them focused on defense and really stresses that in every practice.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Patterson comes in for Jonas Valanciunas, and Terrence Ross is subbed in for DeMarre Carroll. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Anderson Varejau's checked in for Mozgov. Thompson comes in for Kevin Love. Iman Shumpert is checked in for LeBron. And Irving subbed in for Gerald Green. Irving for 3. Toronto grabs the miss.
Boy, he's got a nice-looking stroke. That almost went in.
Yeah, and a lot of times he'll still knock those down no matter how good the D is.
Scola sets a screen for Joseph. Outside DeRozan. Shoots from 12. No luck. And it's the Cavaliers taking it the other way. It's off to Charlotte for him after this game as they take on the Hornets. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. And so here's Toronto. This game against Cleveland is the first time they've met this season.
Yeah, and they're hoping for a better showing against this club this season. Last year they came out on the losing end.
And, you know, with 2 teams in the upper pyramid in the early going, important to establish that pecking order, especially within your conference. So this game is important.
James Johnson's checked in for Joseph. Outside Irving. From downtown. Good. And the nice assist for Williams. And that's 12 points for Kyrie Irving.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Here's DeRozan. He had 22 points in the win against the Clippers.
And also, he competed on the backboards. That also had a lot to do with the game.
Patterson, the screen. And DeRozan kicks to Ross. Shoots the three. That's good. Ross has got the lead. Back up to 2 now for the Raptors.
And they're just raining threes on both ends.
Boy, I love the answer. You come at me with the three, I'm coming right back with my own triple.
And we're through the first half of basketball here in what's been a good one. Raptors lead by 2. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Gentlemen, I'm over here with Tristan Thompson. And after that first half, Tristan, what's the plan going to be for this second half?
Well, it's simple. It's going to be a dogfight. You know, they got big guys, true bigs, and we got to come out, play hard, and not let up.
You have to have plenty of bark in a dogfight, Tristan. Thank you. Guys?
All right, Doris, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow here on 2K Sports.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. The first quarter for the Raptors was fairly even. They only had a couple rough stretches, and as the first period came to a close, they had a 4-point deficit. They came out in the second quarter with a renewed focus, playing well enough to take a 2-point lead here at the half. And taking a look at the Raptors, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, they're paying attention to the boards, and that's a good thing. When you're trying to get ahead and stay ahead, it often comes down to a few key possessions. Any extra rebounds you can get is a big difference. I like their intensity out there.
Shaq, how do you think Cleveland played?
They played some solid team basketball, Arnie. Pretty good. They were sharing the ball. We saw some nice feeds, a lot of movement. It wasn't 5 individuals out there. It was one cohesive unit, and they got the assist to show for it. Their rhythm was nice.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now.
Well, Irving has simply been great. He has 12 points, and he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
I love the rhythm his outside stroke has produced today.
Raptors with the lead. Cleveland with a very strong year last year. They were a very solid team on the road, as most LeBron-led teams are. Clark.
Yeah, he's a special guy in terms of how he can elevate other players. Didn't start out hot on the road, but eventually got it together and ended up 22-19 away from home.
And so in the game for the Cavaliers, down low, it's Love and Mozgov. Gerald Green out there with Irving, and it's LeBron in at the small forward position. Good. And that's 13 points now for Valanciunas.
Getting the half off to a good start here already with some penetration. And back to the Cavs and their road play. Teams with a lot of new players coming in can struggle early. It's especially evident when playing on the road. And what a move, guys. I mean, he's absolutely embarrassing him out there right now.
Well, that's an ankle breaker, Greg. You know that.